All right, lads, welcome back to me podcast, Cheaper Than Therapy. Mick Thomas here. How are you? How are you feeling? How's everything going with you? I want to thank you all for liking, subscribing, sharing, passing it on. That means a lot. Cheers. Also, check out the other podcasts I got going on with my mates, Dan Barry, Dennis Rooney. Almost Irish podcast. It's the only name we could agree on. It really is. But fuck it. Here we are. It's been interesting, right? The last 2 weeks of my podcast, I kind of feel I've been behind on the time. By the time I get these out and by the time the events happen, so therefore I'm always out. But it's been a weird first week of the new year, hasn't it? So what happened? A bunch of morons stormed the Capitol in Washington, D.C. That's the capital with an O, by the way. Because that's the thing too, right? When people are writing stuff online about the Capitol versus the Capitol, but I don't know. I couldn't tell you the difference. I really couldn't tell you the difference. So sorry. You're gonna have to Google that and find that information out for yourself. The difference between the Capitol and the Capital. Which is weird because when I moved here first, I would spell things different, and people go, "That doesn't make sense." Like I would spell check different as a way, and people would kind of lose their shit and go, "That's not his." Same thing. Now I'm watching you guys struggle with your capital and capital. But yeah, a bunch of morons stormed the Capitol. And it was interesting, right? It was really interesting. It was funny because I started the podcast last week, if you remember. I came downstairs and I was talking about like, oh, there's something going on. I don't know what it is. Because I was literally walking out with the laptop under my arm, went down the stairs and I recorded my podcast. But as I was coming down here to do this, I just saw these fucking fat guys with flags running up the grass up the hill, and I thought maybe it was like a game, right? I thought maybe it was like a reenactment of some sort, like the Civil War, and these guys were kind of too fat to have the uniforms made, so I said, "Fuck it, we'll just run up with this." And apparently it wasn't. It was a bunch of morons stormed the Capitol. Now, right, I get people were down there protesting, right, for what they were doing. And again, that's the thing too, right? People have been saying as well about, well, you can't, Black Lives Matter did the same thing. It's not about, I made fun of them too. I thought that those riots were bullshit too. So this is just the same. This is the same. You don't get to pick and choose what your favorite, riot was. You know what I mean? You can't go, well, that's what they're doing over there, so we can. Oh, really? So if the Black Lives Matter jumped off a cliff, would you do it? Would you follow him? Come on, don't make me be a father now. But yeah, so a bunch of idiots stormed the Capitol. And all I could think of was Beauty and the Beast. Remember that scene where they're all trying to, led by Gaston with their pitchforks and their torches, and they're trying to attack, but then the furniture comes to life. I thought, how fucking funny would that be if like that douche with the horns got crushed by an armoire, right? Just a bunch of like the coat rack, just fucking yeah, and I watched all of it like we all did, and I'm sure maybe we're sick of it already. Just there was so many things to me that I'm just looking at, and the first thing is like, why you doing, like, I get protesting, I get marching. I personally wouldn't do it. I don't give a shit enough about anything to get online and be around that many people. I personally don't agree with protesting, but I understand it's a necessity. People want to be heard, but I couldn't give a shit about anything. Is there anything out there I care enough to get up and go and drive? Like, I wouldn't, like, if I had to drive to Washington, like, what would it take for me to get in the car, drive to Washington, find parking, and just stand around with these idiots, listening to, I don't care enough about anything to go do that. So you go, you protest, right? And that's what it's about, isn't it? That's what the world is about, standing up for what you believe in. But I couldn't give a shit about anything enough to do that. But, so you take it one step further, don't you? You take it one step further and you fucking just start, you storm the place and you take it over and you assault people. And there was some highlights for me that I loved. like I liked watching the people climb the walls up the side of it, and I found that hysterical to me because there was stairs right, like the stairs are right. They're probably one of the biggest steps I've ever seen. I think if Rocky took place in Washington, he would run up those steps instead of the Philadelphia ones. And so I'm watching these idiots climb this wall. Like, there's a stairs right there, mate. You're gonna fall. You're gonna fall and break your fucking neck. Get down from there. There's a stairs right over there. Nobody, and I don't know why these people climb the wall. I mean, they're all right-leaning people. I don't know what that looks like on your screen, because on mine it looks so they're all right-leaning people. And usually right-leaning people kind of they're the most right people. I'm not saying the left weren't, but most right people were in favor of the wall. Were you just trying to prove how easy it is to get over walls? You're not really arguing your case there. Like, yeah, we should build a wall. Why? Because it keeps people out. Does it? Yeah, look at this wall. I'll show you how I can easily climb over it. I love that part. And then you watch people fall. That was fuck. Just you're falling off a wall. It's one of the funniest things to watch is people falling, isn't it? Really, even in the name of democracy, even in the name of whatever you stand for, whatever your rights are, you're like, fuck yeah, I get to watch people fall off a wall. It was tremendous to watch him. And then basically what people did is when they got in there, they just took selfies. They took selfies as what. So basically, you stormed the castle, committed a federal crime just to take a selfie. Just that. That's all you did. Go to the wax museum. You can go to the wax museum. I have a picture on my Instagram of me in the Oval Office, and you wouldn't even know the difference. I could have told you. Granted, Lincoln is sitting there, and there's a picture of me like this behind him. But you can go to the wax museum and sit in that in the Oval Office. Now I know the Capitol is not where the Oval Office is, but you can do that. You can go in to the wax museum and tell people you were there. I wonder if you did that though. I wonder if you went to like Madame Tussauds in Times Square and you just took a picture like, yeah, I fucking stormed the cat, gave it a load of, look at it, here's me online. And I wonder if would you get in trouble for that. That's a kind of an experiment I want to try. But yeah, so these fucking idiots just broke federal policy just to take selfies. And then what did they do? Like morons, they posted all their pictures. They posted the pictures online. They posted all their pictures online, which is a federal fucking crime. You know, people compared, like, because again, we go back to the riots part of it and Black Lives Matter versus this riot, because that's what people seem to be comparing this to, by the way, which like one shitty riot versus another shitty riot, and they're like, well, that's them. This is it's all bullshit. Their riot was bullshit. Your fucking incident was bullshit. But say what you will about the Black Lives Matter, like at least the majority of people in that group had the decency to cover their face, like the common sense. Because if you go to any court of law, if you look on Black Lives Matter, you go, that's Sean. I know Sean. I know him anywhere. I know. Look at him. Fucking, that's Sean. And he's coming out of Target. He's after robbing. I don't know, what would you rob a Target? Like, nobody ever comes out with food. It's people come out with just. He got earphones, Beats earphones from Target. I know Sean anywhere. I could see him. Fucking typical Sean. But if he got arrested and it's a video and you just do this, you can't prove it was Sean. So the Black Lives Matter, at least those guys had the fucking decency and the common sense to cover their faces up. But these other morons are with their feet up on the table, just sitting there going, yeah, this is what I do. This is me. This is me committing a federal crime. Did you get it? Did you get a picture? Take it again. Take it again. Let me see. Let me see. No, take it again. I was blinking in that one. Fucking idiots. Absolute idiots. So they go ahead, they take their pictures and they put it on. And now what's happening is like they're all getting arrested. I saw a video yesterday. Again, I don't know when this comes out as opposed to when I'm recording, but I saw a video yesterday of a guy not being allowed to get on a plane because he was put on the no-fly list now because he committed a federal crime. And he's literally in the airport crying, this is bullshit. I was bullshit. I just went to the Capitol and they won't let me fly. Oh, I'm sorry. Are there consequences for committing federal crimes? You fucking idiot. Of course there are. Of course there are. Now they're crying. I always like the tough guy. That gets caught doing something and then he breaks down. Like, it's you fucking idiots. So they stormed the Capitol and then, people got killed. People died. I think it was 4 people died. I could be wrong. I don't have anybody here to fact check me. So I think 4 people died. The first one was a woman. Here he goes. Joan, why did you had one job, just carry the flag, Joan, and you got shot. What are you doing? Like typical Joan. That's a joke, of course. I don't wish death upon anybody. But 4 people died, and of course it's going to come back to haunt you. And then you had of course everybody talks about that fucking guy with the Viking horns. What was that about? What was that? How did he prepare for his day? You know what I mean? Like, I look at football, American football. It doesn't really happen that much in European football. Soccer, you call it, if you're not from the rest of the world other than America. How did his day start? Did he get up? I know he's from Florida. Fucking obviously. No, he's not. He's from Phoenix. I want to take that back. I take that back. Sorry, Florida. Sorry. He's from Phoenix. My fault. I just want to know how his day started. Did you ever? So I'm watching football again. I'm rambling. Sorry, I've been called on this before. When you go to a football game and there are those people, like, wear a jersey, wear a hat, maybe get one of those foam finger things with your team on it. I always wondered when those guys go, especially from the States, that are icy cold, and they go out and they've no shirt on, and they've like their team colors, like the red and blue on either side, or the yellow, purple and gold, or whatever fucking you paint yourself. And I always look at those guys and go, what fucking idiots. Like, they're always idiots to do that, right? It's always they're never high end job holding people that do that at football games, right? It's always like, it's never, I mean, apart from Silver Lining Playbook, when the psychiatrist did it on his face a little bit, but it's never a gynecologist, it's never a rocket scientist, it's never a physicist in the bleachers painted blue in the shitty cold weather, green or red, whatever color your teams are. It's never a fucking educated person. It's always a muppet. It's always a fucking muppet just sitting out in the fucking field, right? Just shivering, and he's got his team colors on. It's never an educated person that does that. Prove me wrong. Write into the show, call me, comment, do whatever the fuck you want. But it's never a smart, educated person that wears those colors. So this fucking idiot goes in, like, dressed like he is, he's probably going to do time. He's probably going to do jail time. Now, I've watched enough prison movies to understand exactly what prison is all about. And as far as from what I know about prison, what movies, because the movies don't lie, is that when he goes to prison, he's going to have to knock out the biggest guy in there, right? So you get respect. Everyone knows that. It's the first rule of prison. It's the first rule of prison. You knock the biggest fucker out. So he's going to have to go to jail and our prison, and he's going to have to be in there with the baddest of the baddest, the bad of the bad, the worst of the worst. And he's going to have to ask him, what are you in for? Fucking murder. Yeah, what did you in for? Plenty of rape. What are you in for? I stormed the Capitol dressed like a fucking Viking. That's it. That's his story now. That's who he is for the rest of his life. The guy who went to the Capitol with Viking horns on. And you peaked. I see that online all the time, especially on TikTok and shit like that. You literally get to watch the moment when people peak. Right there and then, I have your peak moment right in front of me. So this guy has now peaked. He has had his, he got up, he put his horns on, he went in, he took his pictures, he got arrested, and that's his life now. That's his legacy. That is his legacy. He's not going to go on and write a best-selling book. He could, right? He could, but he's probably not going to achieve it. That's it now. He has peaked. Like, how many people do we know that have those moments that they peak, right? Who is that girl? She was with the Clippers guy, and she always wore that stupid visor over her face. Then you had the bagel guy on Long Island. Remember him? The bagel guy on Long Island. He got beat up on camera, and and that was it. And he became a star for 10 minutes, and he peaked. And that's it. That guy has now peaked. And I've always wished, and I hope I don't have the moment, maybe this is it, the moment where I never want to have the moment recorded where you peak in life. Like, that's it now. No more. You can't turn it around. You can't turn it around. He might get a reality show, which I doubt. I really doubt. I mean, what do you do? Follow a guy around? Like, and then I wear Viking horns, and I go to Starbucks with the horns on, and I complain that you made my latte too hot. I'm just fucking. I go everywhere, man. I go everywhere. I go to Harlem with my Viking horns, and I yell racial slurs. That's it. You're done. You got no place to go. So yeah, and now what's left. I mean, a lot of people are like, it's kind of crazy now. Now it gets really political, right? Now it gets really political because they're blaming Trump for it. And again, this is why I've never picked a side. Never, because if I was all in with the Trump flag and the fucking stickers on the car and all that shit, now I would have to, do I defend him or admit I'm wrong? So I've never ever picked a side. And for those of you who come at me before, oh, you're this, you're that, I have policies on either side that I kind of agree with. This should have been done that way. This should be done over here. Let's take a piece of everything, but you can't do that, right? That's why I don't pick sides. So he's been held responsible for it. And he's getting impeached again. As from what I'm hearing today when I record this could be all wrong. So, he's been impeached, and he'll be the first president in history to be impeached twice. Again, another foreigner tell you about your history. And I watched a video of him about, and we're going to go down Pennsylvania Avenue. I love Pennsylvania Avenue. It's the best avenue there ever is. Better than Avenue Q. Didn't like that show too much. A lot of puppets, a lot of gays in the Avenue Q. We're going to march down Pennsylvania Avenue, and we're going to look at the bushes. I love Pennsylvania Avenue. And we're going to go to the Capitol. So he kind of, and I feel the fucking idiots who said, yeah, we'll follow you. It reminded me of, remember Old School, that movie where Will Ferrell got drunk, he became Frank the Tank again. And he goes, we're going streaking down to the quad. And he ran down the street naked, but nobody followed him. In this case, people followed Frank the Tank down Pennsylvania Avenue, and they did what they were going to do. So now, President Trump, who only has a few days, by the time this comes out, I'm sure he's probably done. He only has a few days left in office, but if they impeach him twice, what they can do, which I found out, is he cannot run, if this all goes true, whenever you're listening to this episode, if this goes true, what they're trying to do for him, he will not be able to run in 2024, which I think was his plan, to run again in 2024. So they fucking banned him big time. They kicked him off of fucking Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. I don't know about TikTok. It'd be good to see him on TikTok shaking his ass or something. I'd watch that. Yeah, so they got rid of him. They kicked him off of everything. And now they set up a new one. Again, I'm not a journalist. I should have done a new social media app. Why would you set up a new social media app that just kind of goes to your side? Like, I get if you've got a social media app that bans everything you say, which is kind of, let's be honest, it is happening to a lot of people. Like, I know comedians who are putting jokes up and getting kicked off, but then you go over here, it's fine. And I've had stories before about stuff I've put up that was taken off and that was acceptable and it wasn't acceptable. Why would you have a separate one that's only for what you that you believe, what you love? Isn't that kind of, judge not yet ye be judged, Mick Thomas? That's what I say. So it's going to be interesting now to see what's going on with all this shit. Is President Trump, will he be allowed running 2024? If not, Now what's going to happen? What's left for you to storm after this one? What's left for you guys to storm now? The Capitol, the White House. What else is there? You could, I was going to say storm the Four Faces Mount Rushmore, but you fat bastards aren't climbing that one. A lot of fat bastards. That's what I noticed in those videos. A lot of fat fucks probably got more exercise in that one day than they've ever done in their whole life. So good for you. Congratulations on that one. I don't know where do you storm next? Do you pack up your crew and go, take Viking horns with you and go in and steal more stuff? Like what was the guy who stole? He was from Florida. Fuck, that's what it was. He stole Nancy Pelosi's thing. I don't know, maybe fucking stole her letter opener, pencil sharpener. But a guy stole the podium. What do you do? What do you do with that one? Where do you keep that? Why? Do you know what I mean? Like when you watch, again, comparing to Black Lives Matter, which you shouldn't. At least they got electronics. They got good stuff. They got Nikes. A lot of Gucci stuff was taken. Nice pocketbooks. They got good stuff. You got a podium. And what are you going to do with that? Put it in your fucking living room so you can just stand over, and just all day. Order! What are you doing? Be smarter with your looting. Be smarter with your looting. There's a part of me when I watched, some of the Black Lives Matter ones, like, if I was there, would I grab something? Right? If I went to the Capitol, I probably wouldn't, right? I probably wouldn't grab anything. I mean, if I was in a store and like, oh, fuck, PlayStation 5, they're hard to get. Will I? I'm in that dilemma. Do I nick a PlayStation 5? That I don't know. I wasn't there. When I go to the Capitol, no, the funny thing was nobody touched the gift shop. The gift shop was left alone. So these selfish fuckers are in there looting and they don't even want to think about their family. They go in and someone's like, get me a keychain. Or what? Get me a Capitol keychain. They didn't touch the gift shop. Sad, right? Sad that they brought nothing back from their kids, nothing back for their spouses, and go, here you go, I got you, I love Capitol t-shirt. I'm sorry about the size. I don't know. I'm not good at that kind of thing. Nothing. So maybe that guy, that's what he did. Maybe he took the podium home for his wife, and that's what it was. Maybe I'm being too hard on him. He walked in. He said, "You know what? Stacy would love that. Stacy would love that right now. She'd love it. I'll get her that. I'll get her that." And he probably nicked it. So maybe he was the nicest guy out of all of them. We don't know. It's interesting to see what's going to happen. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. So again, look at. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for liking, subscribing, sharing. If you're listening to this on Anchor, you can jump over to YouTube. YouTube, it comes out a few days earlier if you want to get a head start on your Cheaper Than Therapy podcast. Put the new logo up too, which looks nice. I thought that would pop up there, but I'm not tech savvy like that. But yeah, so like it, share it, subscribe, tell your friends about it, whatever. I'm very, very happy with the way things are going right now. So, and my other podcast, Almost Irish Podcast, I have a lot of fun doing that with the two lads, with Rooney and Dan Barry. So, thanks so much again for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. I don't know for how much longer this mask thing is going to end. But anyway, take care of yourselves, lads. Thanks so much for listening. Good luck to you. Good luck.